Hello and welcome to another session of Godbound. This is part of our third arc of this. We are returning back. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of Open Hearth Gaming, which is an online community slash club slash whatever you want to call it, that you can find out more about at openhearthgaming.com. We've got a ton of things there. And if you're watching this and like this, maybe subscribe to the channel here. I've got like 1,000 session videos on here. It's a little wild. We also have all of our videos from the various Open Hearth games go to our Open Hearth YouTube page, and we're hoping soon to have those available as podcasts so that people can listen to those sessions, because that used to be a feature that we had and people really enjoyed that. It is a good way to catch up on various things, and there's some great series that are out there. So last time, our group back at the Library of Assassins looked at several different things. Darius began working on their shrines and their development of that. Tassos looked into getting a curse program or anti-curse program written. And our captain worked on various issues, and Threadless decided that she's going to build a dragon. That were the big
And
things that
maybe
were
an angel or maybe an angel dragon.
maybe an angel dragon. Okay. I believe that the build a dragon is Sherry's wish. Darius' wish for some other pantheon. But we definitely, Ransom, we want to get you some scenes with Legia tonight. And Tassos, you wanted to have a scene with Threadless, and then I have a note written down here at the bottom. And I know that it's important. It's right below your wishes, and I don't know what it means, but I wrote and I circled it, eat a god. I don't know, but that's what I've got. So apparently that was a wish. I don't
I
know.
do sort of remember that. That was part of my. I wanted to talk to Threadless because we both had companions that were under dooms that may or may not have the best solution be where they eat a god to fix it.
That's right. That's right. All right. And we also have sort of a lingering wish, is possibly resolving the Tunisia, closing that out tonight. Just you know, simple and easy. So that's where we're going to be starting. Uh, so let's begin with Captain Ransom. I think we kind of said that that's where we wanted to start this session. Um, I don't necessarily think you necessarily want to go to the Legia thing right away. Maybe there's some things you want to do to set up, or some other projects that you have in hand.
Yeah, there's quite a few things actually, I suppose I need to do. Give me 2 seconds to put my name in properly though.
Fair enough.
Um uh I am going to get the C-Wing on track. Go ahead and send it with Butters to go to that southern port, and where the fleet's going to provide relief to the refugees, all of that.
Skylosaur. All right. Yeah.
Yes,
Now
Galasaur.
that's significant trip, because there's no like canal at the Bridge of Furies. So he has to actually go around the far uh southern peninsula. But he will get started. And of course, your ship has the blessings of yourself and your shrine. And I assume that's probably the blessings that you've given to Butters as one of your.
He has Lord of the Waters, Lord of the Seas, and the Eagle's Eye.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then I have the Dominion stuff I put on the ship. So
Okay.
it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. So it will go as fast as any ship made, as any ship on the water could go to travel around. I mean, as soon as it gets out to sea, both the currents and the winds will pick it up and will take it.
Excellent.
Um,
Yep.
Go on.
And then I think I'm going to go and find Ordevi.
Okay. Ordevi, we'll say, has returned back. We know that Ordevi last time was in Naharik working on the school, the Youth of Tomorrow, and getting them set, and coming back through the device that you have that connects. There's just a moment of transit, and he is back. So Ransom, you can catch Ordevi on one of those moments when he is coming back to get more books.
And I will come up. You'll see that I'm carrying a little chest, carved chest.
Is that
My
to
friend,
carry?
how are you?
I'm great. Is that to carry books? Because I could use another box to carry books.
I don't know if it is not for books, but perhaps something that is nearly equal in your estimate of value. We have been gifted with coffee.
Fascinating. I do genuinely like coffee.
And I thought I would bring some of it. Our friends to the west had received some from Kashmir and had gifted it to our pantheon, and I immediately thought of you.
That is very, very kind of you. I feel like I have not had a good cup of coffee. I can't even tell you because we messed up time when we were, so everything is different. No.
I figured it would help with your work. I went and visited the other pantheon, or at least several members of it,
Yeah.
and am organizing a small relief for the refugees to the south, running from the dragon and all that sort of thing.
You have been very busy. I've just been carrying books back and forth.
Well, I imagine that there's a great deal of effort involved in setting up the school. Has it gone well?
You know what? Don't tell anyone, but I do feel like version 2.0 is always better. You know what I mean? I feel like I learned a lot of good lessons setting up the school here, and I'm feeling much, much more confident about the systems in this the what do we call it? Youth of Tomorrow. So it's going great. Thank you for asking.
You and I had a conversation several weeks, maybe even several months ago that
Who knows anymore?
has who can tell? That has lingered in my mind. A problem you and your brother had that you were looking for a solution for. And when I visited the other pantheon, something was brought to my attention that may kill two birds. Ooh, I don't like that phrase at all.
No.
Two foxes with one stone, as it were. We have to have someone marry into the other pantheon. And you and your brother had a relationship that perhaps you were not as satisfied with.
That was Evedro. I am a confirmed bachelor.
But in the with the thought that Evedro looking for some solution, I wanted to come to you before I breached the idea
That's fair.
with him.
Yeah, that's pretty much true of any idea. Yes.
Yes. Do you think that would be a solution? Would he like to marry into the pantheon?
It's quite possible. We've only met them briefly. Do you feel, and with people like us, it is forever, forever. Do you feel like, um, how do I put this gently? They would be able to handle Evedro's foibles, his nuanced personality, shall we say?
I have a feeling that this might be quite similar to what I understand royal marriages are like. A bit more on a higher level than real personal
Connection.
attachment.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just I appreciate you bringing this to me. We will think on it. I'm anxious, however, despite his issues, he's gone through a lot of growth, and I would not want him to simply um, uh, abandon his other attachment without first resolving it, if that makes
That
sense.
that makes perfect sense. I thought this might give some easy out, maybe not easy, but an out.
Yeah.
Um, in a similar vein, I myself may be moving in the direction of matrimony.
Really?
I have found that I am very fond of Alicia,
Oh,
and she seems fond of me.
that is undeniable.
I don't know what she will say when, well, truthfully, when I get up the courage to ask, and not to put the horse before the cart, but you are my oldest and dearest friend. When the time comes, will you stand with me?
It would be a great honor to do so. She would be uh well, I can't even imagine her answering any other way but in the positive, in the affirmative. I'm
Oh, I can imagine it.
Well, I cannot. From the outside looking in, you two seem very well suited, and you have taken a, again, who knows how much time to really get to know each other. And as we all know, that is what is most important.
Thank you, my friend. We will be needing to all get together and make plans on this dragon. I hate to drag you from your work, but this will be pressing.
I'm looking forward to it. I uh from what I recall of our previous battle, although it was Evedro who was doing most of the work there, it really got it was actually quite enjoyable. Um, once you got past all the sort of mortal damage, I thought we worked really nicely together as a team.
I think we did as well.
So bring on the dragon. Are you
That
going to get
seems
married
like
before or after the dragon battle?
I would think after the dragon battle. Well, I it really it depends. Well, excuse me. I probably should be going.
A good party is always a great way to get us psyched up to go into battle. So I'm just saying,
Hmm.
remember how often we would do a song and dance number before we fought a big battle.
I will keep that in mind.
That is my first and best act as best man.
I'm going to cut to Tassos. Tassos, last time you had some conversations with your cats, you spoke with the uh, August Descending, spooked him a little, and did some other things. What do you want to do this time?
Yeah, that was good. I like that August guy. It's good stuff.
He was very scared of you. Yes.
Yeah, no, I really appreciated that about him. I would like to go see Threadless.
Okay. Threadless, I imagine that we come to you in that room where you're kind of looking over. You have, I think we see the same sort of dragon notes and plans and things that you had last time, but they've clearly been redrawn in your own hand. And I think we've got, various sketches and drafts and things like that. And there is that bit where but Bastillos it has been now trying to keep up with you,
Mhm.
and has kind of shifted back to just going and doing research stuff and things like that, because you have kind of walked outside of her sort of sphere of competency, and she
Mm.
doesn't want to admit that.
Oh,
But I think that she's perhaps strangely relieved when the shadows darken in the room and a chill comes across, and there's howling from out in the hallway. And she says, I believe that Master Tassos is coming.
really?
And the door will creak open
Organ chord plays.
slowly.
And it does that, and she says to the professor, "Oh, well, tell me when he gets here."
You will enter Tassos.
There's an ominous roll of fog that comes and spreads through the room. There's a light fluttering of bats through the eaves. There's a crack of thunder. There's a pause of silence. There's a slightly more insistent crack of thunder. Finally, a dread column of smoke rises up in front of you.
And she's like, "Oh, Tassos, is that you?"
Sorry, I was practicing rituals.
Oh, I can see why they're not that popular.
Actually, I've had very good reviews of them.
Really? From whom?
Professionals.
What's that mean?
Uh, generally people that have professions.
Oh, swineherd, farmer.
That's it's not really a profession.
Well, what is a profession?
I don't know, one has to be professional for it. Generally, I think it involves nightmares where you're worried about your tie or what's in your briefcase.
What is a briefcase? It sounds like it's a time box.
Case of infinite horrors.
What does that have to do with time?
What?
You came to see me? Or do you need something?
Did I? Yes. Why were we? No. Yes. Hello.
Hi. I'm making a dragon. Well, I'm making the schematics of a dragon that will do the thing that I want the dragon to do.
What, like lungs and intestines and fluid sacs?
Dragons aren't like that. They're like a set of higher ideas, not ideals, ideas. Then the freedom to work out from there, but still bound. Trying
Does
to
that
work
come
out
in
what all of it means.
So does that come in steel or
Yes,
ceramics?
it comes in flexible, tempered materials. So you are correct. Steel is one of those.
Almost strips away some of the mystery thinking about
Mm.
gears and joints and metal platings.
No gears. It's not predetermined. It's hard to describe. I'm still working on it. It makes me very sad.
Oh. Do you want it to make you sad?
When you make one, you have to bind it. So it's like a great work. And then you lash it to a lodestone.
All things in this world are lashed to a lodestone. We all serve some other purpose.
You already knew that, and I'm just learning it. Why are you here, Tazos?
Oh, I understand that your companion is under an inescapable and inevitable doom where his very existence is dependent on the whim of an unknowable and amoral god. I have a similar situation going on.
Yeah, except it's a moral, unknowable dragon. But yes. Maybe that's what the books seem to say is the case.
I more meant god on a classificational scale rather than theological.
Understood. And so
Has he thought about eating the dragon before it can eat him?
don't know what Ansonic has thought of.
Well, he's probably thought of blowing it up at least.
He seems to think that whatever fate the dragon has decided on is inevitable for whomever should encounter it.
It seems a very limited view.
And yet, I cannot disprove it until I disprove it. Problem for Ansani is that his father, so to speak, is in fact not fertile, merely has replicated a part of himself with some intellect, and then says he can reclaim it. Your problem is infinite fertility.
I think at least a large part of it might be a tree.
A lot of terrible writhing vines. Yes.
Just saying, the world has gone through a lot of shifts where points of power that were thought to be stuck and immutable shifted, flowed, split, became different forms, and went into different vessels. I find it hard to believe that the world is so static now, that that's no longer true.
We know that there are places of it that are changing out of control. I think part of the problem is the rules are all broken, right?
Or maybe that's the tool to use.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. Like you said, it's conceptual layers and steel of ideas. It's not a sort of thing that works in diagrams and descriptions.
Until it does.
I'm not someone who works well with diagrams and descriptions. How about that one?
I'm very bad at nightmares.
No, actually, you've had some really amazing. That's not the point.
I cannot control them.
A way to unstick the powers from the form that they're in. A way to draw them and tempt them into something that feels close. Or at least a way to break down the insurmountable might of these forces into something smaller.
I'm pretty sure the dragon is broken. He's eaten too much death. Too many death gods. He's not what he was before. But does he want to be fixed?
Does he want to be replaced by a better version? You said you were building a dragon. Could you build unsawing?
He'll be building his younger self.
Or a different body? A different way forward through the world?
Not want to be the one to bind Unsani. But I do not want to lose him.
If we started with a very small concept of a dragon, destruction of beetles, very small mammals. Actually, that really mostly sounds like a cat with wings. You could build a cat with wings. People are very afraid of flying things, but also sharp things.
Yes. The stuff of nightmares. You're very good at
That's not what we were doing, was it?
no. Wasn't. You've style points for sure. But what about the twins?
Inescapable doom, inevitable fate, all that.
My fertility powers might be of some help. I could at least make the seeds go dormant.
I have Descending working on some way to cleanse the curse out of them. If you have any ideas, you could consult with him, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like the lesson that the world has taught us. To just undo it, erase it, walk away.
Thing is, what is in them is a sort of fertility planted in darkness and nightmare. We could seek that power out and destroy it. Perhaps that would be in time to save them. But how do you fight nightmares? How do you fight the darkness, Tassos?
I never did. I became a part of it.
So, that doesn't seem to be a solution for those two. Because it's not just darkness and nightmare.
Does that feel like a good hang spot there? That
Mhm.
I
line?
think that's good.
Darius, what are you up to? You're working on your shrines last time. They've talked to you about this other pantheon. They've mentioned the projects that they are doing with the other city. What is it you think you want to be doing?
Trying to think of what all happened last session to follow up on. I have in my notes: build a shrine / infirmary and a causeway, help Threadless build a dragon. That's that was the extent of my notes.
Okay.
I probably should be. So I guess I'll go talk to Threadless.
Okay. I think that you will come in to see Threadless. The room is slightly chilly. A sign you will recognize as the Tassos having been there recently.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see Threadless has sketched out various dragon sketches and now probably has some sort of absent-minded nightmare death god sketches as well, kind of spread out on the table there. So Threadless, you'll see Darius will arrive.
Say, oh, good. It would be good to talk to you. Everything I'm drawing is turning into nightmares recently, so.
Well,
Turns out once you've seen their shape, it's very easy to propagate them.
I mean,
At least on paper.
did you want to build this
No,
thing?
no.
Okay. Are you drawing diagrams of what not to build so you don't accidentally build it?
Oh, yes, that's what I'll tell myself. I'm going to put this in a folder on what not to build. Go. I invent a file folder, right?
Do not build these.
Note to self.
Note to self, do not design. Okay. Yes.
Someone mentioned to me that someone else mentioned to me to them that anyway that you might both need my help and be able to help me with something.
That sounds perfect. First, distract me with what I might be able to help you with.
A shrine as
Oh,
that's also an infirmary and is definitely not that thing.
right. No, we don't need that. Okay. Yes. Wait. I heard someone talking about this. Is this the thing on the causeway?
Yes. Not in town. I've been told that that's not allowed.
Yes. The dead rolling one.
Yeah.
It
And
would be impolite.
Right. And also I don't really want crocodiles invading a hospital. Just, this seems like a bad idea.
No, it would make sure you always had something to do. So, no. it's a long walk for them. It would just be unpleasant for them as well. So
Right. So it's better for everyone if they don't need to.
I can definitely do that. And it will
Good.
not take me very long.
Okay.
Probably
Good,
the
good.
longest will just be firing the tile.
All right. Perfect.
Um,
Uh,
do you have any specs of what you would like?
uh
I'm sure you've sketched it out, right?
well, not exactly. I haven't given a lot of thought to what the building should actually look like. Here's a list of things it should have space for, but I am not an architect.
Okay.
I mean, I could, you know, it could be a square, but I don't think you would enjoy working on that.
I see what you mean. And they'll take it, spread it out and go, ask you a few questions. How big is this supposed to be? What kind of room? What kind of space? And she goes, yes, this will be doable. We'll start small. We can add on as needed.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Threadless, we haven't seen this in a while. So what does Daria see when, I mean, you sit down, you look at the plans, you sketch out for a moment, and then you walk outside because you have it ready.
Mhm.
What does it look like when you build using your gifts? What do people see happen?
I mean, the first thing is that essentially the first part of it is actually a certain amount of work because she has to have the material. So she starts out by digging enough to, put the foundation in. And then it's that earth she uses to build that. And she builds the stone in the foundation. She just turns the soil into, or the other stone into the foundation stones. And the thing that takes time is for her to gather material. And if you bring her material, then she can keep on building. But she essentially very much just kind of puts her hands on a bulk of material, transforms it into something, a pile of, ivory white tiles with their symbol on it, and then just clear, plain ivory ones and white stone, and everything's polished and all of those things because that's how she envisions it, and it just turns into those things. And it is, she makes like things out of precious metal, and and if you have things of what the tools look like or the fittings, those just makes them out of thin air from a clod of dirt.
And this
And
would,
she builds it at a phenomenal rate, is literally as if she's 10,000 men. So,
she will be done with that in half a day. It is the moment every time you look away and look back, something new has been added to it. And yeah, you will have a brilliant infirmary set up, clean, balanced, and accessible.
Excellent. I go and like fetch some, some material, bring back. And it's doubled in size since last time.
Yes.
Last time, like when you said it won't take long, you meant it.
it is building a function, so it is particularly easy to make. Buildings of luxury are a matter of taste. I may or may not understand what it is that the person wants, but this building has to do a thing.
It seemed to me that shrines would last longer if they did a thing.
Yes, I assume so. And if they were protected. So they
Well,
will be
yeah.
protected here.
Let me,
Uh,
if I may, I'm going to cut from there.
Mhm.
Professor or Devi or Vedro, who are we with?
Can I ask a quick clarifying question? Where
And
did Darius's shrine end up?
it is on that causeway that leads up from the library down. There's a great sort of walkout area that's set up where they used to have the translation scribes, and then there's the walk down, and it's set up in that area at probably the top of the steps.
Got it. The causeway that goes down into the port is
Mhm.
how I picture it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we are seeing or Devi, and it's nighttime. And he has gone sort of up away from the university, sort of more towards the center of the island. And I imagine there's sort of a place there where he and maybe others go to meditate. And so he is just reflecting on the challenges in front of him and in front of the group. So the group generally and him, I guess, and his brother
Mhm.
personally. So yeah, so he's just gone up there to think, and I was wondering if maybe Tintefa follows him up there.
He will come and kind of waits after your back for a while and will kind of knock politely and will say, Professor, do you have a minute?
I do, of course, Tintefa, for you always. We are now, I think we're getting close to midnight, so we are like pure or Debbie now, as pure or Debbie as we get.
He says, sits down. He will pull out a flask and pour out a cup for each of you.
Thank you.
So I don't have to worry about these youths, do I?
In what way?
I mean, or Devi, this is a veteran we're talking about. I don't have to worry about them, right?
I don't think so.
All right.
Ransom was there, so cooler heads were certainly present when arrangements were made.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. That is why I came up here to think. I sense a change is happening, and I'm not sure that Evedro and I will be so distinct from each other in the future. And decisions we each make now will gravely affect one another more than they have in the past.
You've always been a anchor, and you've always held things together here. But I can see Evedro working with the children. I can see that happening. It doesn't seem like your role.
Exactly. I don't think I will be happy there.
So where would you be happy, Bartevi?
Captain brought us some coffee. Did you get to try some?
I will admit that I did purloin some of the beans.
Don't
Uh,
don't let Evedro hear you say.
they were amazing. He had always spoken of Kajafar as the source of the most amazing coffee, and he's right.
Before these changes befell us, we traveled a lot. And I miss it. I miss seeing different parts of the world. Evedro seeks to enlighten, and I seek to learn. And there's a lot of learning to be done in teaching, but my curiosity is beginning to overwhelm me. And I'm not sure I will be able to stay in one place, which is what Evedro needs.
But Devi, I have never asked this of you. I've never asked this question. I've always taken you on your face as you have presented yourself to me as such, but how is it that you are two people?
How is it that the day transitions to night? I don't know. We just are.
You are both people I care about, and it worries me that as it stands, neither of you can be truly happy.
That is why I came up here to meditate and drink whatever it is that you have brought along with you.
It is a brandy, and it is fairly strong.
It's very helpful. I imagine we will have to deal with some of these other challenges in front of us. And in doing so, maybe things will become clearer.
As you say, I trust in your judgment. I would not want to have to make a choice between the two of you.
I don't think that will be necessary. I think what we might get is some third option altogether. Well, what I would like is to know that this school, the one we've started here, will be in good hands, no matter what happens to me or my brother.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Can I count on you for that?
Always. You never have to ask. I will always be here.
Is that because you want to be here or because you feel obligated to be here? Or...
Because you are Vedro and or Devi, and that is why I'm here.
You're... I need to go let the beagle out. You're
Is that a euphemism?
that is the opposite of a euphemism. Your devotion is inspiring.
Let's take a quick break. We'll go to like 35. We'll come back with Threadless, and then we'll kind of bring some people together here. Okay. So I think you are the last one on the rotation that I hadn't checked in with to have you start your scene.
Who, me?
Threadless.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I think she goes to see a Sonic.
He is there. Uh, you see that he is looking at various books that detail Naharic, and he seems to be looking through those, and perhaps trying to figure out like what would have been the better way to break some things in the city.
He goes, oh, looking for ideas.
Yes.
Do you know what the, your father, your dragon,
Mm-hmm.
what was he like before he ate too many dead gods, death gods?
I do not know. I did not exist then.
What was your sense of his essence in those moments? You were in his presence.
I don't understand exactly what you mean.
No,
And I'm very smart. So
you
what you
are.
say must be very confusing.
It is. It's a hard one because I know that he was very good at destruction
Mm-hmm.
because you are, right?
Well, absolutely.
Like you inherited that from him.
Yes.
Did he make others? Did they have different qualities than you?
I know that he did, but I was not told that he did.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means I knew it, but no one told me it such that I knew it.
Uh, ah,
I know that that is not always the case.
was that his intention? Or was that you were different than the
What?
others?
No, no, you misunderstand me. So I know that the other dragons that make things like me, sometimes those things don't know that
Oh,
they're dragons.
oh,
I do.
you know that you're a dragon.
Well, I know that I'm part of a dragon, a thing of it's yes.
It is hard to talk about these things.
It is. It is. I mean, this is only the second thing I've been afraid of.
I'm afraid too. Do you know what the dragon wants?
I'm not sure it wants anything. Wait,
And then she
what do
sort
you
of
mean by want? Do you mean like with desire, or do you mean like plot? Or like what do you mean want? Like, I'm not sure it wants in the way that you mean it.
oh, what way does he want, if not in the way that I mean it?
So when you say want, you imply that you have a desire to do a thing and carry it out, right?
Yes.
The dragon skips that step.
It goes straight to the carrying
They
out.
are the thing that they are carrying out.
But he was not always that thing.
Apparently. I feel like I'm not answering your questions like you want me to be answering your questions.
No, there is no expectation that I had. Sometimes you just talk a thing through. Then you've maybe, I don't know, crossed some things off your list that you have to worry about and added some more that you do.
I don't really worry about things.
Except sometimes. Being scared is kind of a worry, isn't it?
Yes, but that's only twice. And I'm not
Really?
sure I worry. I did worry. So I've been afraid twice then, and I've worried once, and it was when we were at Naharik,
Uh-huh.
and I had this worry. I could feel it, and it was unusual. I worried that you wouldn't let me break part of that building.
No, it was all about.
No, but you told me to wait.
I
And I
did.
thought, I imagined in my head,
Oh,
like I imagined what would happen and how I would feel if you never said break part of this building. And then I got this feeling, and when I came back, I talked to the 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 assassin who talks to other assassins after they've done things,
mm-hmm.
and they said that was worry.
Oh. That's the only time you've worried?
That's the first time I've worried.
Ooh.
So 2 afraids and a worry.
What were you afraid on?
Well, I told you the one. The other one is those kids.
You were afraid of them or for them?
Oh, I'm afraid of them.
You can fill the seats?
Yes, they're antithetical. I learned that word.
You did. And she kind of goes, what are they antithetical to? For you.
Like, I am, you may not know this,
Mm.
but I am all about destruction.
Yes.
I don't know if I've made that clear completely to you. And whatever is in them is all about crazy,
Creation.
wild growth. Don't care for it. It seems, is there a way for me to say that something that would be defined as healthy is unhealthy?
Yes.
Then that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So if the dragon encountered the thing, that thing that's in the kids, what would it do? Would they fight? Or would the dragon run away?
Stops. How do you see him go? I don't know. Like you see him stop. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I can say this. I don't think they would like one another.
Is there something someone the dragon does like?
Do you mean like like a friendship, or do you mean like you and Evedro and Ransom, or do you mean like love, like how I feel towards you, or do you mean like when you have respect for another? I tell me what you mean by like.
Any of those? But I mean, I'm not guessing that. I mean, because like, I don't know. Does the dragon love anyone?
I don't think so anymore.
But they did once.
Yes?
Do you know who or what?
No. I know that the dragon feels parity, peership, kinship with the other dragons of its kind.
But they don't like hang out together, right?
That is what I know. There are only 3 of them besides it.
The moon
Mm-hmm.
dragon. There's the one that is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one by the ice caps.
Yes, those are the 3.
Do they love something?
I don't know. You would have to ask them.
Would they kill me the same way that the dragon?
No, no, I'm sure they would kill you in a very different way.
Really? Okay. Ah, see, these things are very complicated.
Though I don't think the Dragon of Changes can kill you.
You could change me though. Or is it only
Uh,
land?
no, no, because it's trapped.
How is it trapped?
The Empire of Hours has it.
Huh. We'll have to see what we can do about that. But that's another time, another story. As he sort of stops and says, if I made another dragon, would he feel parity with that?
You could make a dragon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That makes my head hurt when you say that.
And she sort of stops and says, let's go get something to eat, okay?
Yes. I want to eat a lot and digest it and destroy it in my stomach.
Life is good.
It is. So let's I want to do one more kind of once around here because I know there's still some things Ransom and some others who want to get to, and then I want to kind of try and cross some paths here and set a couple of things up here. It does bring us back to Ransom.
Okay.
And I do imagine that we see sort of Legia down at the docks talking with some people there. You'll see some of the captains that that Bextia and Derhai and the others that are here fairly regularly are chatting, and you have the sense that they're talking about where did the captainship go and so on, and she's talking to them, and she seems to be telling them that there is a need for ships, that if they have means to contact, or a passenger pigeons or other means of magical or whatever, they should tell their compatriots to head to Shansint, that they will be rewarded,
Good on her.
if they go there and to help out with the transit. And I think you'll overhear she's saying, I do not think that Ransom would ask this of you, because he values all of your lives, but he would thank you for this if you were to do this thing. Not that you would risk yourselves, but there are people to be saved there, and this is something he wishes. And I think we'll see them definitely talking, and they, like many of the sea captains that travel, they have minor magics to send word out, and I think as they're dispersing, you'll make your presence known, and Legia will greet you.
Are they worried?
I think that they are worried about the dragon. They know they've seen the shadow of it. They know that. But, and she'll pause. All of them know you and know what you're capable of and know the blessings that you have conferred on them. And any and all of them would wish to repay that.
I guess that's rather touching. I had never really thought of it. They seem to respect you a great deal as well.
No, they respect you. They, uh,
I think they believe that listening to you and hearing your, your wisdom and hearing what you have to say is important.
I'm only telling them what they already know, but they need to hear it out loud.
Mm. Well, then that's even deeper wisdom than I have. I sadly run on at the mouth without ever thinking of leaving silence for people to come to their own conclusions. It it makes me happy to see that you are down here talking with all of these folks and that you move. I sort of remember meeting you up in a tower where you didn't want to be around these people much.
That was a lifetime ago, before you opened up the doors of the library and changed the assassins.
There was a lot changed in that meeting. A lot changed in me. I'd always sort of imagined, I'll kind of start us just walking down the docks, you know. I'd sort of imagined that I was always going to be at sea, that my life was meant to be aboard a ship, and there would really never be something that drew me to land, certainly the same place over and over again. And then I met you. And now, whenever I go to sea, I'm thinking of a port. I'm gonna stoop down and kind of reach down towards the water. And I'm going to expend I'm gonna expend effort on it right this moment, but we'll end
Sure.
up permitting it once we decide what that's gonna be. It'll be a Dominion thing, I suppose. That's how you change the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reach down, and the water's going to sort of roil there, and the water itself will form into a ring with a pearl on the top of it. And as I kind of reach down and pull it up, I would give every treasure the sea has to you. And there is no treasure in the sea that is as valuable as coming back to port to see you. Would you take my hand?
Natalie, would you please roll me a d20?
Sure. Let's see. That's an 8. Not a very good roll.
I have been in the library for a long time, since I was taken in to be, well, I- until I made my way in to be a guide, as it were. And when you and your companions came, I read as much as I could about the gods of old. I will accept this ring, but I fear for what it means. The stories of the gods that wed themselves to a mortal, they do not end well. I hope that this is a new world and that will not hold true. But
This is a new age. New gods are arising. Let us tell new stories. And we will fight together for a happy future.
Yes, let us do that.
Certainly made me very happy. And I'm going to take her in my arms and kiss her.
Okay. We'll kind of do that little spin around flash montage and then cut away. Tassos, is there another scene that you would like to call?
I don't have a particular scene with someone, but I do think we see some of like Tassos at night, sort of in the little passive time here, um, as he's looking over and trying to tend to this dream realm that he's been putting together. They'd spent so long just sort of like uselessly bashing against the coast of Gesnia, and suddenly it's just like they've washed across the land there, and there's this huge influx. They go traveling at night. I think we see Delek and Dala with Tassos a lot, not all the time, but they go traveling through. Um, Spreading out and finding new people to bring into the realm, but as it's growing bigger, I think the edges of it are getting more feral and uncontrolled, and like Tassos is having to work harder to keep parts of it from fragmenting off and fracturing apart, and there are like connections and darker impulses that spread through the dream realms that's not really the sort of things that they're trying to push out there. And it's not like a problem yet, but I think they can start to feel where like there's a pull between the waking world, the constant involvement and things that we're constantly like getting trapped up in, and needing to spend effort and time in this sort of other realm to keep things growing and progressing the way that they want it to.
Especially when you feel the lapping of another set of impulses, another set of eneric forces washing up against the realms that you are working with.
Mm.
It's starting to splash, and you can tell it's someone else like yourself brewing and changing and playing with the dreams and washing in. And where they overlap with what you're doing, it's very strange.
Can I get any sort of like emotional or thematic sense? Like Tassos is obviously coming from a very particular viewpoint for dreams.
Roll me a d20.
Ooh. Oh, that's a 3.
I think that as you are wandering there and kind of swimming out towards the outer edges of it, I think you will find yourself kind of suddenly cut off and in a different place. And you're in a place where you'll see there are people who are having nightmares, and they're not scared. They are intoxicated. They are stimulated. They are weirdly fascinated by all of the fears and horrors that they're seeing. And I think as you're doing that, as you're kind of like watching, you'll hear this little girl voice behind you say, "I'm so sorry." we seem to be mixing things up. And you will turn around and you will see this enormous red-skinned, demon-horned hermaphroditic figure, 7 feet tall, with this little girl voice, who says, I'm sorry. I was pushing the lights out so far and they wafted into yours.
It's why aren't you afraid? You're very afraid, but why aren't you afraid?
Oh, I'm afraid, and it's delightful. Steps forward, puts their long, slender, beautiful fingers, brushes your cheek.
Tastes wrong. Everybody's doing it wrong. Concepts as
No.
architecture and
No,
pleasure
no.
in terror. It's
You take pleasure in terror. Why shouldn't they?
the wrong. That's not the purpose of it all.
Shh. There's no wrong here.
There's also no purpose.
There is much purpose here. But we have different approaches, and I'm sorry, Master Tassos, that I pushed so far. I will attempt to disentangle my desires from your nightmares.
Have you always moved in the unconscious world? Or is this something new?
No, I am godbound of desire. I am emotion. I am temptation. I am what people want of all kinds. So, yes, I've always been here in dreams.
A dilettante here.
You wound me.
Isn't that what you want?
It could be. We can talk about that. You are nightmares, I am dreams. And then they blend together, and it is two great tastes.
This is too soon. Things are too unformed. This will introduce an infection.
Are you afraid of that?
I'm afraid of many things.
And I love many things. Shall I withdraw? Is that what you would like me to do?
We should take time to consider this.
Well, if you're going to be a tease about it, I will see you again then, Master Tassos.
Enjoy your realms.
Oh, you know I will.
Like, oh, I should have said something different.
And Kaisdaeg descending will withdraw. Let's come back to Darius. Darius, your temple in on the third day the temple was built. It is astonishingly solid. you expected perhaps simply wood construction, but it is as much stone as wood with metal fittings. Uh, uh, and unlike a lot of places, like this is a medieval society, but it's a building that when you go in, it smells like a newly constructed building, like a modern, like if you've ever been in a house just after it's
Uh-huh.
been, opened up and you're like, "Ooh, that that's very much a scent." That's the smell here of cut wood and labor.
Yeah. I think uh well, people need to know this exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
um uh, Also, I'm a god of cities, and I have spent like no time actually in this like surrounding town.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would like to go explore. Um, but also, I want to keep a low profile. So I'm gonna turn into an animal and go
Okay.
explore. Uh like just like a big dog, sort of a coyote looking dog,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go like wander around because nobody's gonna notice, a dog. I
Yeah.
suppose they might notice a person, although I can blend in. So
Yeah.
uh
This is a town. A lot of it is built up on kind of stilts and walkways and things over the bay here. There
cool.
are crossings. There are people coming back and forth. The port is more active than it ever was. All of the docks and things are freshly built. And now I think having seen how Threadless works, you're like, oh, that's why all the docks are new. That's why all of
Right.
these other buildings are
Oh,
completely
this
new.
Threadless did this, and
Yeah.
also this, and this here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing you'll see are the crocodiles that are in the bay, kind of slowly, lazily hanging out underneath the things. They don't bother anybody in boats. They but they do kind of sit there watching and waiting. Um, and there are lots of people around. And I think at some point as you're there, you'll hear, "Hey, hey, 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 dog."
I look.
And you'll see this crocodile is looking up at you. Hey,
Hey,
I don't think you're a dog.
I am right now.
Touche. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is there a problem? Is it illegal to be a
No,
dog?
no. You just hmm, you you seem important.
That's why I'm a dog at the moment. Nobody thinks a
Uh,
dog is important.
I see. Are you are you a beast lord? Are you the hound?
The hound? I haven't heard of that. So probably not.
Ah, I don't know the proper name of the hound.
I I do talk to animals, and obviously I turn into them.
But you're not like the other shape changer.
Which one?
Well, there are a couple. There's one that doesn't smell like anything, and then there's one that smells like fear.
I know the one that smells like fear.
Okay.
I might know the other one, but I don't know if that's the same one you're talking about.
So, okay. Are you one of the new gods?
I am.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
I thought I should come explore my uh new home for now.
If you wish, you can climb on my back, and I will take you to meet the death-rolled one.
Why don't I just turn into a crocodile instead? That would be easier.
Can you assume the form of the most beautiful thing?
And I will turn into a crocodile. Sure.
And like the crocodile is taken aback, and if the crocodile could put its little paw up and go, it would
It's
gasp
my
and say,
first time. Forgive me if I made any mistakes. I was not intending to
no,
mock you.
no, you are perfect. Uh well, follow me.
Okay, I will do that.
And I think as you swim out, and there is a river is probably a very much a two thing. It is a large creek that goes up into the sort of jungle part of the island, and I think you'll realize as you are swimming up that there is a train of the other crocodiles in the harbor who have now kind of fallen in behind to watch as you go, and you will swim up in the delightful heat. The temperature of the creek is perfect. It's just cool enough and it's just warm enough for the crocodiles. The sun comes through at the perfect angle, and eventually you'll find yourself in an internal lagoon, and there is an enormous old crocodile there. And it's doing that thing where it's kind of half under the water and the little eyes come open as you approach, and it will settle itself up and it will say, hello.
Hello. I've been told I should meet you. I'm one of the new gods.
You are like Ransom,
Yes.
but whereas he speaks to the birds and some of the fishes, you speak to the correct things in the world, the best things in the world.
I speak to many things. Some of them speak back.
Well, you are more than welcome here. What is your name?
My name is Darius.
And I am the death rolled one.
I've heard of you. It's good to meet you finally.
Yes. It's good they have a proper god amongst their pantheon.
God who knows who to speak to.
Is there a favor I can do for you, Darius?
I did not come to ask favor, just thought I should meet the being in control of the waters here.
It has been a very long time since there have been gods like you, and I am glad to see them back. there will be many that will fall in the water before these days are done.
Is that a prediction or a prophecy or an intention?
Let us say it comes from my knowledge of the gods. When the gods walk forth, eventually there is blood in the water, and we never mind that.
I see. Yes, that's my experience too.
There are other beast lords that remain. Not so many incarnate in the world. There are places where they have gone to sleep, but there are a few of us, like myself, like the gull who roosts upon the library, who remain out and active.
I'll keep my eyes out for the others.
And if I hear anything, I will pass the word on to you.
I do have a favor to ask. If you will hear of anything terrible approaching this place, pass the word on to me for that too.
I will do that. I will do that. I will listen for the dooms, and I will tell you if I hear them tolling.
Thank you. Sometimes one in the water might hear before one on land.
Sometimes. Well, I sleep quite a bit, so I'm going to shut my eyes now. And he'll do that so that it closes his eyes and he just like
Just like-
dips below. So it's just the two eyes kind of breaking the surface of the water.
Yep. Cool. I will swim back to land.
Okay. Ephedra or Devi?
I think Evedro.
Okay.
And I was gonna go visit Darius's new temple, new shrine.
Absolutely. As you head down there, you will see that there is one of the professors from the university who is coming down towards you. He is the legalist professor who we haven't introduced, but I assume you have a law professor.
Sure.
Contract and all of that stuff, and he will walk down and he will say, Master Vedra, may I, since you happen to be here, I wonder if I might walk with you as you go?
Of course. Sure.
Yeah, yes.
Sure. Wait, were you one of the professors on the board who suggested that I take a sabbatical? I just can't keep those names at the top of my head.
I signed so many petitions and papers, I really couldn't say at this moment.
Okay.
But yes, so you've been very occupied with your matters in at this other school that you were doing. Do you
Yeah.
plan on working there more full time?
It well, given the fact that Tintefa has the university here in such a good place, and that it was strongly suggested. It was my decision ultimately, but
Absolutely,
suggested
yes, yes.
that I take some time for myself.
Hmm.
That this seems like a good opportunity for me.
And it seems like you plan to spend more time there getting things set.
It's it seems likely, and my business will take me to many places and meet many other beings and gods.
Mhm, mhm. Yes. So, and you'll see him draw out a document and he will hand it to you.
Yes.
So, this is a petition for redress of grievances and payment, essentially to sever your arrangement and to pay out a certain amount to close out based on claims of alienation of affection and lack of communication and so on of your relationship with one Princess Tanuja. She has written in a schedule of payments and obligations that she would like you to undertake, and should this be done, then she will consider the matter of the relationship between the two of you settled, and she will include a non-disparagement clause within the
Oh.
contract as well.
No, that's good. I obviously hate it when people say bad things about me.
And he pauses, he's about to say something, and he goes, yes, yes, yes.
So just to be clear, you teach at my school.
I teach at the school.
Right. You, a mortal, teaches
Yes.
at my an immortal school.
That is a true statement of the facts. I think you have the nub of it.
And to be also clear,
Yes.
you are representing a client for which there is no pre-existing contractual relationship between that immaterial being.
There
and me.
is, and this is actually where he starts to go. There is an implied contractual divine relationship, and, he will begin to cite various case law here. He says, now, it would be a pleasure for me to have the opportunity to contest you in court, given your
I'm sure that would be fun for you.
it would be a delight. However, I also do have the sense that you have better matters and things to deal with.
I do, but you've caught me at a bad, shall we say, time of day in which I tend to be a little bit more appreciative of litigiousness rather than preferring that maybe it goes away or trying to smooth things over.
True, true. However, it is you, Evedro, that
That is true.
Mistress Tanuja gave her affection, attention.
Affection's a very strong word.
Is it? I was going to say love. I would say that would be a strong word.
No, the relationship, as I'm happy to admit into record, never reached any particular level of emotional or physical affection, only because, and I repeat, she is immaterial.
She has a corporeal essence based on the supply of blood. Master Vedro, may I speak to you off the record?
Sure. I am the god of knowledge.
Absolutely. So... And it would be foolish for me to say something that you are not already aware of. So all I do is speak to remind you of things that you already know.
Okay.
She would like to be provided for a bit, given that she's here alone, away from her.
What does she need?
But she is a ghost of a court from a place where ghosts are beings like you and I
Yes, yes.
that have equal weight in existence and contract. So where she comes from, this is what it is. And I suspect that Everdro, and he gestures out, I think that you see the whole world out there before you. You have many plots, plans. You are an immortal. And I know that you do not wish to be troubled by these kinds of affairs, these kinds of baggage. I am here to help that happen for you.
I use my gift and ask a question. And the question is, do I have any hope of winning this case if I contest it?
Absolutely. You can destroy her. You can destroy this man. You can crush them. You know that.
Right.
Like you could spend, it would take you a while, but you could absolutely do this. You could very clearly establish that she's a non-person in this area and
Right.
has
In this
no
part of the
legal
world.
rights.
Right.
And
I mean, I don't want to destroy her. I just don't want to owe her money. We weren't married. We were barely dating.
She clearly perceives the relationship as stronger, and I think that
that's a cultural divide there.
it is a cultural divide.
Yeah, we do things different out here in the South.
He says, I merely wish to make this as easy as possible for you and for her.
Look, keep the contract. Forget this. She will not want for anything ever. She can stay in this town as long as she wants. She has no obligation to me whatsoever. There are plenty of people around here who can provide what she needs. The blood may be a little complicated, but we can figure that part out.
If you will commit to that in writing in a simple way, then I can make this happen. Basically, that she will be taken care of while she still exists. These ghosts have a lifespan. She's a blink in your eye.
Well, she's more than that, but fine. Let me write something up.
It would be an honor to see the legal document that you
Okay. You don't have to kiss up. I got you.
You are a god of knowledge. While I am also sucking up to you, it would honestly be a pleasure to see what you would create.
You know what I can tell you, young man? No matter how much knowledge one has about the world, the things in it, one can never really, really know the heart very well. It remains a mystery to us all, mortals, immortals, and ghosts alike.
That seems oddly poetic.
Yeah, and now I need to go write up a contract about it. So
well, I will leave you to it then. And he will withdraw post haste.
fantastic. And I'm going to remind myself to talk to Tintefa about either giving that guy a raise or firing him.
Okay. It'll depend on what time of the day you speak to Tintefa.
Yes. I was going to try and talk to Darius.
Okay, and
they're-
let's do that scene. I just wanted to close out that particular
yeah,
line
thank you for
there.
doing that.
Yes.
I like that angle.
Uh, Darius, you are getting things set at your temple, prepared. Essentially, it is a medical station. We talked about that there are people here who treat the sick who will be given a space. And Evedro, you will see it is a very nice, clean temple. It's no university,
I mean,
but it's nice.
Darius, did Threadless build this for you?
Yes, she did. In half a day. It was impressive.
That
It was
goddess never ceases to amaze me with her handiwork. I'm just this is gorgeous. And I
Isn't it?
love that it's functional too.
Yeah, like I told Threadless, I thought that a shrine with a function would last longer as both a shrine and its function.
Have you gotten many people to come? Is it
Not yet.
active? Okay.
It's I mean, if someone showed up right now, there are people here who could treat them, so it's active in a way, but no one has shown up here yet. I'm sure something terrible will happen soon and it will be put to use.
There are a number of crocodiles.
I met them, yes.
You met them.
Yes, yeah, of course.
They won't talk to me.
Why not?
Why not? Have you met me? I'm not easy to talk to if you're a humanoid, much less a crocodile.
Well,
what's their deal?
they like to eat people who fall into the water. They're crocodiles. I spoke to their leader, who he was very polite and respectful, and he's agreed to send word if he hears of any impending doom approaching this place.
That's amazing. That's great.
He's also happy that the new guys are coming back, mostly because he thinks that will lead to lots of new bodies in the water, because that's how gods are. And I couldn't really argue with him.
No. It sounds like it's a good thing you are also a healer, in addition to being a croc speaker, croc whisperer.
Yeah, yes. But it wasn't so much they talked to me first, and
but you were there to listen. Maybe that's my problem.
If you stood there, if you turned yourself into a crocodile and then stood there silently for a little while, I'm sure they would speak to you. Yes.
I can't see literally any of those things happening, but I'm here because I brought you a gift, to something to commemorate your new shrine, and I'm so happy that there's a healer here, and of course one of my areas of interest, shall we say, is the sun, and I think that the sun has healing powers in and of itself. So I think I pull out a little sort of wall hanging of a sun, maybe cast out of metal. I was like, I didn't have Threadless make this, but I did try and make it myself in the metalsmith shop at the university, and I ended up needing one of the students to help me. But it is the sun cast out of copper.
It's very beautiful. Yeah. I and I like find a spot to hang it up and hang it on the wall. Here, it's
you don't want it like more in the middle, more people could see it.
Like, yeah, all right. That sounds good.
I mean, it's your shrine. It's your shrine.
I am not an architect. I just know what needs to be here. I don't really know where to put it or what to do with it.
It's your shrine. You should go with your instinct.
But thank you very much. So Have you heard of Threadless? Threadless has some very interesting plans on potentially how to deal with a dragon by building one.
Did you say building one?
Yes,
Threadless is building a dragon?
that's how dragons are made, right?
Didn't did anyone does anyone think this is a good idea?
I do. Tassos also. I believe he.
Let me start again. Does Ransom think this is a good idea?
I don't know. I haven't asked.
Okay.
But dragons are built by gods. Threadless is a god, and
I mean, everyone needs a hobby, I guess. I don't know. Um, uh, maybe, did you get a sense of what the intent was with this dragon?
I think it is to counter the other dragon, a dragon of
other-
creation to fight a dragon of destruction. It makes sense to me.
Actually, that's pretty good. Okay. Does she need any help?
I don't know.
I'll go ask.
But
And the one other thing I wanted to say is I really appreciate how comfortable you are in cities too. Whenever I go there, I feel a little out of place. And I don't know, just maybe next time we're in a city, not, fighting fallen angels or whatever, devils, you could kind of show me around a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. The secret is to know that you are effectively invisible. So even if you're out of place, no one cares.
I have a really hard time thinking of myself as invisible, but that may be a growth opportunity
That's a
for me.
yeah. I don't. That is a skill I was born with. That may be the only skill I was born with, aside from a knack for healing. But so I don't really know how to develop it. But I'm sure it's possible to learn.
Next time we're in a big city,
Yes, absolutely.
we can talk it through.
Excellent. I'm going to cut there.
Thank you.
Threadless. You are muted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I come back from lunch and I'm like, okay, I think I know what I need to do here. And
What is it you think you need to do?
well, feels like he's on parity with the other dragons. So I think that I am going to make a new dragon. And it is a dragon of the new gods. It can fight, of course, but that's not its purpose. Its purpose is the same purpose as its purpose is the purpose of the pantheon. It's to witness the world, to bring others to the pantheon. It's to be inspirational.
So
And it's to gather knowledge, most of all. So it will go and speak to this dragon. That is what I will be building.
I think that you will know in order to do this that you and your companions are going to have to walk up into the mythic plane to gather some things from there.
Okay.
And bring back that essence of that dragon.
It
And if
has
you
time
can,
for us to do that.
yeah. And if you can do that, that is something that you can set potentially as a countermeasure to the dragon there in Arwen Shah. And you suspect, given its fascination with you and the pantheon, that this may also be a way to lure out the dark heart of the jungle.
Yep.
That is what we're going to take up next time. I think that's exactly where we're going to start, is Threadless having worked out the pieces and essentially the five of you having to hero quest from here into the stories to go and fetch the pieces of a myth to bring it down to make this dragon. Perhaps even traveling through the waters of the underworld. That is my plan for next time. Does that sound cool? Okay. Everybody take 2 more Dominion. And another couple of experience points. And I would like to do a quick stars and particularly wishes to get some of that set here. I am almost out of pages in this notebook. From 3 arcs. So let's start with Ransom. Stars, wishes.
It was an interesting session. It was a very low-key, talky one, but I think a lot of people kind of had some super interesting conversations. I liked Tassos and Threadless conversation quite a lot. I liked Vedro and Darius's conversation there at the end quite a lot. All around there were really nice character building things, and maybe not as much building as defining things that we've seen from these people and developing what they are in neat ways. That I'm just all around. It's very, very good. Yeah, I liked that. For wishes, I don't know. I'm very excited about what we've got coming up. What you're describing there sounds pretty cool. How much time do we have left in this game?
We have 4 sessions left.
Okay. All right. Do we have any divine shards?
Divine.
Is that the things that make artifacts? I was reading through artifact making.
Oh, let me look at that. That's a section I haven't really looked at too closely. So let me look at that this week.
They're the shards
wishes.
from the divine engine, and they're the thing that you use to make art. Because I was looking at an artifact for the wedding ring. It's where I started looking.
Okay. Let me
And
look
I
at
was
that.
like,
Certainly,
oh.
you have had the opportunity, especially with going up to that armory and some of the things to possibly have gotten some of those kinds of things. And perhaps that's another thing that you can get on your hero quest.
Right.
Okay.
Now thinking on these like dragons and other things, and maybe that's part of what these journey quests will look like is shard pulling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. I'll make a
So
note
yeah.
of that, and I'll look at the rules notes on that.
So I think that's me.
Okay. Tassos.
Yeah, this is this is interesting. A lot of very surreal and strange plans going on, which makes me very happy. Um, Ethan, I really I thought it was interesting to see the clinic, realized and be built. But honestly, my favorite moment was you like inadvertently flirting with a crocodile. It was a really great scene, and I love this ongoing thread of animals really super appreciate it when humans learn how to shed their awful, stupid, ugly shapes and take on, normal, realistic shapes. Um, Sherry, I am so here for building a dragon. I still don't understand what that means. It sounds insane, and I love it. I really liked your descriptions of like concepts and ideas as machine and material. I think that's very interesting, and I'm looking forward to figuring out what the dragon of our pantheon, like what that means, what that is. Um, Tyler, the whole like making the ring and going through the proposal, that was really great. That was a great scene with Leisha there. Um, Dan, I really am intrigued by the idea of Evedro and Ordevi becoming someone different. Um, I mean, Tassos would be very upset to lose his best friend Evedro, but maybe the only one. Um, but also just in that conversation with the legal professor, where he was like, "Well, obviously you have more important things to do than get into an extended legal battle. Don't threaten me with unnecessary litigation. I will do this all year." um, and then lol I love how delightfully stupid Unsawning is. Not like unintelligent. He's just every response out of him is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it's so wonderful. Just the image of him standing there in the palace with the angels, like just sweating and worried because he's imagining these scenarios where like a cartoonish Threadless is coming in and being like, "Well, now we'll never destroy anything again. In fact, we're going to build more. Here, help me construct things." And he's like, "Oh!" That was, I don't know. He's great. Also the thing with Testag and the other dream realm crashing in was just, it was fascinating. It was not something I expected, and I didn't really like. I was sort of shocked at the time, but I've thought about it. I have some really interesting ideas for that.
Oh, good.
And honestly, like the melding of fear and desire, not in the like bondage way that she was
Right.
doing, but in a different sort of way, could very much be that sort of key that Tassos has been looking for.
Could it be a double wedding?
No, not at all. That's not even remotely what's happening here. But it may very much be like the other side of what he's been looking for. And that's really interesting to consider. I'll have to think about that.
Interesting. I'll put that dream stuff as a note under wishes. Darius.
Yeah, pretty much everything covered, but it stars to that whole dream overlap conversation. That was very cool. And picturing all these people waking up very confused the next day.
I don't know if I'm terrified or I have a new fetish. I'm not sure today.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Everybody's going to sleep the next night wondering, like, do I hope that nightmare happens again or not? And I don't know, I like seeing another god, sort of interacting with one of the pantheon. It's very cool. And the yeah, okay, the marriage proposal was very good scene, very obviously good scene, very dramatic. I haven't been here to watch the whole buildup of that relationship, but it was still very good. And the threadless, like, I'm not knowing what to do about Unsunning. I don't know. I really like that arc, or that and and the, like, parallels to Tasso's, like, friends and with the seeds of evil or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought it made for a really interesting conversation, and a really like it raised the stakes for both, or I guess it just established or clarified stakes that were already there. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay.
Wishes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this like go into the mythic realm thing. And seeing weirdness. I like the weirdness that's been happening. Like there's just like weird interactions with the rest of the world. And seeing what, I don't know, seeing this setting.
One of the things I will say, sort of in terms of how I envision next time, is when you go to the mythic plane, you will be kind of enacting and changing stories. So one of the things I'm going to probably have each of you do is kind of narrate this framework of an old myth or story that you are going through to make the journey or to find the things you need. So that's going to be kind of the sort of the travel montage myth making that we're going to be doing. That's sort of my general plan right now, just to tell you on that. And maybe we'll even have a fight on the mythic plane, because that's always fun too. Evedro.
Yeah, I really liked all the conversations here. There's they were all great. I love conversations between Threadless and Unsomming, because the Threadless's level of patience for Unsomming is sort of maternal, but also I think comes from just clearly it just comes from this place of like deeply caring about this kid. And I think he admitted his love for Threadless in that conversation, which was really cool. So I always love watching that dialogue. I mean, a personal highlight for me was getting invited to be best man. I mean, or Debbie getting invited to be best man at a wedding. That's fantastic. Thank you for that. And I will reiterate that Godbound of Desire showing up, and I was legitimately creeped out. I was sitting here with chills going up and down my spine because it was so intense. And I don't know if it was how Lowell played that Godbound or how bewildered Tassos was by it. The fact that Tassos was like, what fuck is happening here was maybe part of it.
I was looking back through your notes for the night, and I love that you just stopped taking notes on that scene.
Oh,
And the
yeah, oh my
last
God,
line
yeah.
is just, whew,
No,
that was creepy.
Yeah.
That's literally the last line of the notes.
Oh yeah, I did put that in there. I was legit creeped out. I may have trouble falling asleep tonight. Wishes. I don't know. I want, you know what I want? I want Evedro. I would like to see Evedro or Devi participate in the dragon building, and that sort of help catalyze his own transformation.
Okay.
Like maybe there's a sacrifice that he needs to make to help that process happen, if that's okay. Share it with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And Threadless.
I can only say yes. It like that to that everyone else said. The conversations were fun to be in and fun to listen to. It was a great night of just being with these characters and all the strange things that you did to them all. Yes. Tassos' own nightmare was excellent. Good fun to watch in that sense. I think you actually kind of killed me twice in that conversation with Ansaning. The one where he told me that the dragon loved something once, and then when he said that he loved Threadless, yeah. So anyway, that's like completely changed any of my mechanical solutions to the problem of the dragon. And it went, okay, I gotta go up another level here. So that was why my thing sounds a little vague, I think, at this point, but it is, I want a solution that maybe preserves some of that hope.
Anything wishes wise
Well,
besides that?
that was my, yeah. So,
Okay.
no, these characters are good. Let's get up there and do some crazy stories. So,
Awesome. Thank you everybody so much. I enjoy these sessions where we can build into the worlds, explore things, and I'm looking forward to playing out with some stuff on the mythic, maybe the edges of the night roads, that kind of realm of stories, and we'll do that for next time. I'm going to stop the recording.